If you don't change your habits, your 40s will feel like a rerun of your 20s. Same worries, same money problems, same patterns, just with less energy and less time. You cannot afford to drag your current lifestyle into the next decade. I am Napoleon Hill, and I speak to you now, not as an academic or a mere philosopher, but as a student of power and fortune, a man who has spent a lifetime studying the difference between success and failure. The difference is not talent, luck, or destiny. The only difference between the person who succeeds and the one who goes through life as a failure is the application of fundamental laws of achievement. Your current situation, regardless of age, can be entirely changed. The philosophy contained here offers the shortest dependable road to individual achievement ever presented. If you feel you have failed in the past, take courage, for struggle and reversal are assets of incomparable value, and noteworthy achievement usually follows a period of struggle and mistakes. The principles I am about to share are immutable laws. They work for any person who employs them, regardless of their past. The universe itself is governed by these laws, and once you align your mind and your actions with them, success ceases to be an accident and becomes an absolute certainty. There is no escaping these laws. You either use them to your advantage, or they will be used by others to your disadvantage. The rerun of indifference. Commanding definiteness. I know the secret thought that troubles you. You look at the past years and you see the patterns repeating themselves. The surge of ambition followed by the slow, quiet acceptance of mediocrity. You promise yourself change, but the change never arrives. You constantly mistake movement for progress, engaging in endless activity that lacks direction, leading to exhaustion without achievement. The wheel spins, but the ship remains tied to the dock, wasting precious fuel while going nowhere. This feeling of being busy but stalled is the primary indicator that you are caught in the rerun cycle, a loop of effort that cancels itself out through lack of focus. To stop the pattern of repetition, you must end the acceptance of whatever life offers without protest. This acceptance is the rerun of indifference. It is the most harmful enemy of your 40s because it looks like maturity, resignation, or even prudence, offering a false sense of security and stability, but it is actually mental laziness and a fatal lack of courage to demand more from life. Riches do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite demands backed by definite desires. Wishing is passive, fleeting, and powerless. Demanding is active, sustained, and the universe responds only to the latter, mobilizing unseen forces to your aid. Let me say this plainly. If you are going into your next decade with vague goals, you are guaranteed to get vague results. Ambition that is not sharpened into a definite chief aim is merely a daydream, a pleasant thought that dissipates the moment real effort is required. I am speaking of the master key that unlocks the door to achievement. The single most powerful factor I discovered among the successful men of America, the ability to focus all effort toward one central objective. It is the first step toward all riches, and it is here that 98% of men experience failure. They wish for success, but they do not demand it. They hope for money, but they do not establish a definite amount and a definite plan for its attainment. This lack of definiteness is why they remain perpetually stuck in the same place, recycling the same worries year after year, never moving beyond subsistence and the limitations set by others. A definite aim, on the other hand, compels the organization of all other factors of success. The power of burning desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire, but it must be a burning desire, a white-hot obsession that overcomes all doubt and discouragement. This is not some poetic theory. It is a fundamental law of the human mind, the force that energizes the subconscious mind to seek out and create the means of its attainment. A mere hope is not enough. You must be willing to stake your entire future on the fulfillment of that purpose, turning the desire into an absolute necessity for your existence, a powerful magnet for the resources you need. Every great fortune I studied began with a consuming, emotionalized purpose that the individual would pursue regardless of the cost or initial obstacles. channeling all mental energy into a single stream of productive thought. Consider the example of Edwin C. Barnes. He did not merely wish to work for Thomas Edison. Barnes had a burning desire to become Edison's business associate, a purpose so fixed that it drove him across the country without funds or an appointment, showing up without hesitation or apology. He did not have the money for travel, the connections, or even the permission. Yet he appeared at Edison's laboratory, uninvited and looking like a tramp, and demanded a chance. He did not ask for a job. He presented himself as a partner. Everyone else saw a rail-riding vagrant. Edison, seeing the fire in his eyes, that quality of definite purpose, gave him a chance. Barnes accepted the lowliest job and stood by until he succeeded, proving that a thought, when mixed with persistence and a burning desire, is a powerful thing that will break down every barrier. Barnes, through the sheer intensity of his desire and the definiteness of his aim, eventually got the opportunity to market the Edison dictating machine and made a fortune. He proved that genius is often just an organized and emotionalized definite chief aim, coupled with the will to persevere over all opposition and societal judgment. Your problem is not lack of ability. It is lack of intensity. You must turn your general wish for more money or a better life into a concrete, measurable, and fixed demand, specifying the exact nature of the life you intend to command. If your goal is vague, your effort will be weak, scattered, and ultimately ineffective. The power of your goal must be strong enough to overcome the inertia of past failures and the force of habit that holds you in your current environment, creating a powerful emotional pull toward your future. The 6 steps for transmuting desire. Your first action, the one that will stop the rerun of indifference completely, is the application of the 6 steps for transmuting desire into its financial equivalent. This is a laboratory instruction, not a philosophical essay. Apply it with the precision of a scientist. For these steps link the finite mind to infinite intelligence and force your subconscious to accept the goal as destiny, directing your latent powers toward its fulfillment. Fix the exact amount of money you desire. Be definite. You must state the number, and you must determine exactly what service you will give in return for that money. Riches are always the result of equivalent service rendered. There is no such thing as something for nothing in the long run. The law of compensation is immutable, demanding a fair exchange of value, and your mind must clearly define that value up front. Establish a definite date for the possession of the money you desire. A goal without a deadline is a wish, an indefinite intention that the mind never takes seriously, leading to perpetual delay. This deadline creates necessary pressure for action and forces the mind to calculate the steps required in the given time frame. Create a definite, practical plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. The greatest fortunes are lost through delay. Act immediately. The universe rewards the individual who starts before he feels prepared for action, generates more courage than inaction, and provides momentum that builds upon itself. Write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for its acquisition, what you intend to give in return for the money, and a description of the plan through which you intend to acquire it. This written document becomes your contract with yourself and the universe, lending physical form to an intangible desire and clarifying your commitment, making evasion impossible. Read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. Use this time to concentrate your entire focus on the goal. The vibration of your voice impresses the thought upon your subconscious with greater force than silent reading, making the goal more real and embedding the purpose deep into your operating system. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. This final step is the most critical. This intentional act creates money consciousness and engages the power of faith. You are not reading meaningless words. You are using the principle of autosuggestion to charge your subconscious mind with your goal. You are acting out the law of faith. By seeing the money as already yours, You are closing your mind to all thoughts of failure or poverty. You are impressing upon your subconscious a positive blueprint that it must, by cosmic law, follow, drawing necessary resources, opportunities, and people into your experience, causing them to materialize in your reality. The subconscious mind, when directed by definiteness and emotion, becomes your silent partner in achievement, working tirelessly while you sleep. If you fail to perform this simple daily ritual, you are telling your mind that your ambition is a casual wish. Your current situation is a result of years of negative or vague programming. You cannot expect to replace years of indifference with a single hour of effort. You must begin today, now, to command definiteness. You are not too late, but you do not have time to waste. The cost of delay is measured in the loss of your future decades and the quiet extinction of your potential. You must choose. Will you allow your next decade to be a blurred repetition of your last, or will you command the definite change required to achieve your aims? The first choice leads to quiet ruin. The second leads to the liberation you seek, breaking the pattern, mind control, and fear immunity. Your 40s will look just like your 20s if you allow destructive thoughts, fear, doubt, and indecision to dominate your mind, ensuring poverty consciousness seizes control. You must understand that your mind is a garden, and if you do not actively plant constructive seeds, the weeds of doubt and worry will take root and choke out all possibility of riches. You must actively police the thoughts that enter your mind, accepting only those that support your definite chief aim, and discarding all others as destructive intruders, recognizing that worry is merely sustained fear, and fear is the most crippling of all human emotions. The average person allows his mind to be a receiving station for whatever thought suggestion the world or his environment may fling at him, becoming a leaf tossed by the wind of external opinion without purpose or direction. This is disastrous to success. Self-control is the second discipline of the person who succeeds, for it is the ability to direct your own attention and focus your mental energy. The man who cannot control his own mind cannot control his circumstances, for circumstances are only the reflection of habitual thought patterns permitted within that mind, demonstrating that thought is the seed of destiny. Autosuggestion and the subconscious mind. You must use autosuggestion to force constructive thoughts into reality. This is the process of deliberately feeding your own subconscious mind, through repeated instruction, the nature of the success you demand. The subconscious is the engine of all achievement. It works 24 hours a day and cannot distinguish between reality and deeply emotionalized imagination. It simply executes the orders it receives most frequently and with the most feeling, acting as a faithful servant to your dominant thoughts and translating them into physical equivalents. Let me tell you the story of a patient I once knew who recovered from a major operation. The doctor, a man of limited faith himself, had given a negative opinion, suggesting the patient might not survive the recovery. But the patient's desire to live, his absolute refusal to accept the possibility of passing, was stronger than the doctor's negative pronunciation. His determination was absolute. His mind commanded his body to recover, and it obeyed, marshaling the internal resources for healing despite the physical trauma. That willpower, applied with persistence toward a definite aim, life itself overcame a physical crisis. He consciously directed his inner forces, proving the mind's power over matter when the aim is fixed and the conviction is absolute. Your subconscious mind does not discriminate between negative and positive impulses. It merely acts upon the instructions you feed it. If you continually feed it fear of poverty, you will create poverty and lack. If you feed it the clear image of your definite chief aim, mixed with emotion and conviction, it will move heaven and earth to manifest it. The key to stopping the rerun is knowing you are the master programmer of your own mind, and every repeated thought charged with feeling is a line of code for your future success, determining the quality of your circumstances. Action steps for mind control and fear immunity. Your daily regimen must include these actions to break the pattern of negative self-talk and crippling doubt. Apply the self-confidence formula daily. Repeat it aloud once a day, demanding persistent, continuous action toward your definite chief aim. This formula is your personal barrier against the three great enemies: fear of poverty, fear of criticism, and fear of ill health, which are the primary causes of reversal because they paralyze action. You must declare your power until it becomes fact, using the power of affirmation to counteract years of doubt and replace them with unshakable conviction in your own ability and purpose. Concentrate your thoughts. Devote 30 minutes daily to the task of thinking of the person you intend to become. Do this by creating a clear, vivid mental picture. See yourself, hear yourself, feel yourself, do the work, make the decisions, and command the respect of the person who has already achieved your definite chief aim. This is applied faith, seeing the invisible as though it were visible, and holding that vision until it manifests in the material world, turning abstract thought into a concrete plan for your subconscious to execute. Build immunity against negative influences. You must use your willpower constantly to build a wall of immunity against negative influences, especially those from your immediate environment and toxic circles, which seek to undermine your ambition. If someone in your life, a friend, a relative, a colleague, speaks only of limitations, failure, or doubt, you must limit your association with them. Their poverty consciousness is a contagious disease, and if you cannot physically separate yourself, you must put up a mental barrier of steel. Do not argue. Simply cease to discuss your aims with the small-minded. Their poverty consciousness will infect your own, destroying your embryonic success plans and dragging you back into the rerun. Protect your mind as you would your physical health from disease. Eliminate destructive emotions. You must consciously eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity and a spirit of cooperation. A negative attitude can never bring success, as it repels the cooperation of others and consumes mental energy needed for constructive thought. These negative emotions burn up the vitality and creativity needed to build fortunes. If you find yourself consumed by resentment toward a successful peer or regret over past mistakes, you are wasting the energy required for achievement. Substitute these negative emotions with a sense of gratitude and admiration for achievement, recognizing that another's success proves the universal laws work and that you, too, can apply them to surpass their achievements. Form the habit of automated saving. Money in the bank, even a small, regularly increasing amount, gives a safe foundation of courage against the fear of poverty. Set a definite amount to be automatically transferred from your income before you see it. Financial security is not merely a material gain. It is a mental foundation that frees the mind from the daily torment of worry, allowing it to focus entirely on constructive planning and the accumulation of ideas. This automated act removes the greatest fear, that of lack, from your daily consciousness, providing a psychological bulwark that strengthens your resolve. Start today and let faith replace fear. When you master your mind, you master your destiny. You are no longer tossed about by the changing tides of circumstance or the careless opinions of others. You are the commander of your own thoughts, and your thoughts are the architects of your fortune, building your future brick by brick. Ending the rerun cycle. Decision and planned action. To stop the endless loop of stagnation, you must break the fatal habit of procrastination. If you look back at the biggest opportunities you missed in your 20s and 30s, nearly all of them were lost because you delayed making a decision, waiting for the perfect moment which never arrives, or the perfect plan which is only perfected through action. Lack of decision stands near the head of the list of major causes of reversal. You must master delay, or, like a ship without a rudder, you will inevitably land on the rocks of regret and dependency, powerless to command your fate or your resources, drifting at the mercy of others. The world rewards not the scholar, but the man of action. The true leader is the man who makes ready decisions and stands by them. The follower is the man who delays making decisions and who changes them frequently and quickly, never committing to a path long enough to see results, thus guaranteeing reversal through indecision and wavering purpose. The rewards of life are always concentrated in the hands of the swift and the certain. The power of definite decision. Study the lives of the truly wealthy. The first thing you will notice is their promptness in reaching decisions and their tenacity in adhering to those decisions once made. They understand that even a wrong decision, quickly corrected, is often better than no decision at all, because action provides immediate feedback necessary for adjustment, while inaction provides nothing but decay. Look at Henry Ford. He accumulated a vast fortune. Not because of his superior mind in every field, he readily admitted his lack of formal schooling, but because he adopted and followed a plan which proved to be sound, and he reached his major decisions promptly and stuck to them. When he decided to produce the Model T, every advisor told him it was foolish to mass produce a single, low-priced model, arguing that customers desired variety and luxury. Ford decided, and he moved forward with the same unyielding persistence he showed in every other great undertaking. He listened to the counsel of his master mind, but the final decision was his, and it was swift, demonstrating true leadership. That definiteness of purpose magnetized his resources, attracting the capital and labor necessary to execute his singular vision, turning opposition into advantage and establishing a new paradigm for manufacturing. The man who cannot make a firm decision cannot command the respect of others, and more importantly, he cannot command the faith of his own subconscious mind. Every moment spent in indecision is a moment of doubt fed directly into your internal guidance system, creating a wavering signal that repels opportunity and destroys confidence in your own ability to lead. Your delayed decision is not just costing you money, it's costing you the power of association and the trust of those who would willingly join your cause. Indecision is the silent assassin of opportunity and the hallmark of a follower, demonstrating a fear of consequences and responsibility. Action steps for decision and planned action. You must now cultivate the habit of definite decision coupled with organized planning. Reach decisions promptly and change them slowly, if at all. This does not mean you are inflexible. It means you gather facts, make the best judgment, and move forward with conviction. You only change a decision when new, undeniable facts prove the original plan was fundamentally unsound, not because of casual opinion or temporary discouragement. Respect the power of your own judgment and rely on it, trusting your trained intuition. Create a definite, practical plan for translating your desire into action. This plan must be written, clear, and executable, detailing the steps from your current position to the attainment of your aim, breaking the overall task into manageable daily steps. Do not attempt to hold it in your mind. The moment you write it, it becomes real, forcing your mind to confront the logistics of execution and turning a dream into an itinerary that can be tracked and measured. Begin at once to put the plan into action, whether you feel ready or not. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The best plan in the world is useless until it is energized by action. Start small, but start now. The gap between intention and action is where 99% of dreams fade, buried under the false need for one more piece of information, a mental trap designed to ensure reversal. Keep your own counsel. Take no one into your confidence except members of your mastermind group, to avoid being influenced by the opinions, ridicule, or negativity of well-meaning but unsuccessful individuals. The world is full of people who will tell you what you cannot do based on their own limitations. Your plan is fragile in its early stages. Protect it with silence and action, only seeking counsel from those operating at a higher level of achievement and who share your ambition, or those with specialized knowledge. Rebuild plans immediately after reversal. If your first plan reverses, accept it as a signal that the plan is unsound, not that the definite chief aim is impossible. The successful man never gives up on the purpose. He only adjusts the method. You must rebuild your plans immediately. The great error of the late bloomer is to give up after the first reversal. The millionaire sees reversal as only a signal to adjust the strategy and move forward with increased wisdom gained from the experience, treating reversal as redirection. Act on inspired flashes. When inspired plans, your best ideas, the ones that feel electric flash into your mind, you must put them into action immediately. Do not wait for the feeling to fade or the details to become perfect. These flashes are often the result of your subconscious mind delivering the answer to your persistent, definite chief aim, and they must be seized upon without hesitation before the critical mind can dismiss them, as they represent the creative power of organized thought connecting with infinite intelligence. I want you to take a moment and think of one significant decision you have delayed for over 1 year. I want you to make the commitment to resolve that decision one way or another within the next 7 days. This simple exercise will start reprogramming your mind for leadership and action, breaking the inertia of delay that has held you back for too long, and initiating the flow of success. If the principles I share now resonate with the truth you know in your heart that you were made for more than a repeated pattern, then you must ally yourself with this philosophy. Subscribe to this channel now. Let me be the voice in your ear that keeps you fixed on your definite chief aim, that challenges your fear, and that guides you through the laws of achievement that I spent 20 years gathering. Subscribe, and let us break this rerun cycle together, guaranteeing future results, persistence, and knowledge. If your 40s are a rerun, it is not because you are unlucky. It is because you failed the persistence test. Let me be clear. Luck favors the persistent. Persistence is the 8th step toward riches, forming the backbone of all great achievements, and it is the necessary guarantee of future results. Think of your life's purpose not as a single explosion of effort, but as a deep, steady river carving a canyon over time. No great achievement is realized in a day. It is the accumulation of repeated, directed effort over time, particularly the effort applied after the initial setbacks, during periods of public skepticism, and during the deepest valleys of personal doubt. It is the quality of unwavering fidelity to purpose, and it stands as the final insurance policy against reversal that money cannot buy. The common man is quick to start, but quicker to quit. He mistakes the initial burst of enthusiasm, the spark of desire, for the sustained fire needed for conquest. He begins a plan today, and at the first sign of opposition, he revises the plan, or worse, abandons the aim entirely. This harmful habit of stopping is the reason why 90% of those who possess brilliant ideas never realize them. The difference between success and reversal is often measured not in talent, but in the time that elapsed between the last setback and the final breakthrough. You must make persistence your watchword, the immutable command that governs your daily effort, and you must couple it with the focused tool of specialized knowledge needed to win. The man who quits easily merely proves that his desire was not a burning one, but a casual wish that dissolved at the first sign of opposition. A weak desire cannot support the burden of sustained effort required to move a significant aim forward against the forces of inertia, against the judgment of your environment, and against the gravitational pull of your old habits. Remember that the temporary reversal is merely a signal that something is wrong with your plan, not your aim. The persistent individual simply rebuilds the plan and moves forward, treating reversal as valuable tuition. The power of sustained effort. I studied men and women who achieved greatness after significant reversal and late in life. Their stories prove that the spirit of achievement never surrenders, regardless of the calendar or the initial odds, demonstrating that the human mind holds the keys to rejuvenation and renewed capacity for effort, provided the purpose is strong enough. The record of human history shows that persistence is the primary difference between the genius and the individual who does not achieve their aims. The individual who does not achieve their aims is merely the person who stopped too soon. Look at W.C. Fields and Marie Dressler. Both staged astounding triumphs late in life, around age 60, after losing their fortunes and careers and being written off by their industry as yesterday's news. They had every justification to quit, including age, lack of capital, and public indifference to their return. Yet they refused to retire into obscurity. Their bodies were tired, their reputations were tattered, and the world had moved on to younger stars. Yet their persistence secured their breaks, proving that courage and sustained effort can lead to success even after crushing reversal and overwhelming societal judgment. They simply refuse to accept the finality of reversal, treating every setback as a temporary hurdle to be overcome by renewed effort and an absolute belief in their talent. Their comeback was not luck. It was the final, inevitable reward for their unyielding spirit, demonstrating the cosmic law that sustained, intelligent effort eventually breaks through the resistance of time and circumstance. They were victorious because they persisted 5 minutes longer than the men who competed against them. Persistence is not blind faith. It is the direct result of a fixed purpose. It is born of the intensity of your desire and the absoluteness of your faith in your plan. You must understand that every time you are tempted to quit, you are likely just moments away from your great breakthrough. As resistance is often strongest right before success, it is nature's way of testing the intensity of your desire. The temporary reversal you experience is only a sign that your plan needs adjustment, not that your purpose is impossible. It is the crucible in which strong desires are forged and weak ones are discarded, proving whether your aim is a whim or an obsession. You must recognize that your effort is cumulative, and every focused action, no matter how small, adds power to the final surge. Action steps for persistence and knowledge. You must develop the habit of persistence and arm yourself with the right kind of knowledge to make that persistence effective. Develop persistence by increasing the intensity of one's desire. Go back to the 6 steps for transmuting desire. Read your definite statement with more emotion, more belief, and more conviction. If your desire is weak, your persistence will fail. You must refuel the fire daily, making your goal an absolute necessity, emotionally tying your self-worth and identity to its attainment, so that quitting is simply not an option. You must hunger for your goal with the same intensity as a drowning man hungers for air. Follow the 4 simple steps for developing the habit of persistence. This is the practical formula for building the willpower needed to sustain effort. Definite purpose, knowing exactly what you want, your definite chief aim, providing a clear destination for your efforts. Continuous action on a definite plan, putting your plan into motion daily, even if it is only a small step, maintaining momentum and rhythm without failing, preventing inertia from setting in. A mind closed to negative influences, building immunity against the negativity of others, sealing your mind against doubt and fear through constant positive self-suggestion and careful environment control. A friendly alliance, the support of at least one member of your mastermind group to encourage you to follow through and hold you accountable during inevitable moments of self-doubt and challenge, providing external support for your inner will when it falters. Focus only on specialized knowledge. General knowledge is of little use in accumulating money. It is too scattered to command high value. The world pays for the focused application of specialized knowledge that helps a business or a person achieve its aim, solving concrete problems. The person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly confined to mediocrity. Your learning must be continuous, practical, and directly tied to your definite chief aim, treating your education as a constant lifetime endeavor that increases your value every single day and keeps you relevant in a changing economy. This knowledge must be organized and intelligently directed toward your specific purpose. Apply the quality, quantity, spirit QQS formula. When marketing personal services, you must apply the QQS formula as a habit. Quality of service rendered, quantity of service rendered, and the spirit of cooperation in which the service is rendered. The man who gives only what he is paid for is never paid for more than he gives. The man who gives more than is expected of him eventually writes his own check, because the value of his service commands a superior reward and outstanding recognition. This surplus effort is how a late starter quickly separates himself from the millions of men who do the bare minimum. It is the evidence that commands the mastermind to take notice and proves your value. The superior service you render today is the capital you invest in tomorrow's success. Profit by reversal. Remember that every reversal brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. The successful man learns more from his reversals than from his victories, treating every setback as valuable feedback and a necessary part of the learning curve, paying necessary tuition. Do not allow reversal to be final. That is the choice of the quitter. Accept the lesson, adjust your plan, and immediately re-engage your persistence, knowing that you are one step closer to the method that will work and that true reversal is only found in quitting. The knowledge gained from a single reversal is often worth more than years of easy success. The greatest tragedy in life is not reversal, but low aim. And the second greatest tragedy is quitting an aim that was high because of temporary reversal. You are not too late to begin, but you do not have time to waste. Let your watchword be persistence, and let your action begin now. Are you willing to pay the price of one more push? The next step determines who you will pay, yourself or those who moved while you delayed. Stopping the rerun of isolation. Mastermind and organized power. If you are heading for a rerun, it is likely because you are trying to succeed alone. The modern man, isolated in his own efforts, cannot compete with the organized power of the great industrialists and thinkers. Power is essential for success in the accumulation of money, and this power is attained through the mastermind principle, organized and intelligently directed knowledge and effort. No amount of personal labor can substitute for this organized power, which is the 10th factor in my philosophy. Your next decade must be defined by cooperation, not isolation. You must stop believing the myth of the solitary genius. No one who has ever accumulated a great fortune has done it without relying on the brains and talent of others, building a supportive and focused alliance that provides mental leverage and specialized expertise far beyond the capacity of one individual, creating a geometric progression of power. The mastermind principle. The mastermind is the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of perfect harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. This alliance creates a third, invisible, intangible force, a mental current that is greater than the sum of its individual parts. It is a source of power that the solitary person can never access, giving you an almost supernatural advantage in problem solving and idea generation by combining the mental faculties of several individuals in a synergistic force, stimulating both conscious and subconscious thought. Andrew Carnegie accumulated millions by making practical use of the mastermind principle. He was not the greatest steel man, financier, or organizer. He was, however, the greatest mind organizer. His genius lay in his ability to surround himself with a staff of men who supplied the specialized knowledge he lacked, such as Charles Schwab and Henry Clay Frick, creating a collective brain far superior to any single mind. He organized and directed these minds, and the result was the greatest steel enterprise of his time, controlling an entire industry. Carnegie did not need to be the brain. He needed only to organize his brains. This principle is not reserved for industrial titans. It is available to you today, regardless of your starting capital or connections, and is absolutely necessary for any grand achievement that requires diverse talents and great capital. If you are trying to acquire all the specialized knowledge and all the power on your own, you will fail due to the sheer magnitude of the task and the limitations of a single mind. The secret is knowing what you do not know, and then wisely delegating that responsibility to those who have the necessary knowledge in a spirit of absolute harmony and mutual respect. This delegation is not weakness. It is the highest form of executive skill, the ability to multiply yourself through the talents of others. Your final and most powerful step to guarantee a life of non-repetition is the application of the mastermind principle. Ally yourself with a mastermind group. Select a group of as many people as you may need for the creation and carrying out of your plan. This group may not be formal. It may be an alliance with your spouse, a business partner, a mentor, and a trusted professional. The size is less important than the quality and harmony of the members. Choose people who possess the knowledge and skills you lack, ensuring a balance of talent and perspective necessary to cover all facets of your definite aim. Maintain perfect harmony. This is non-negotiable. The mastermind cannot obtain where harmony does not prevail. Any jealousy, resentment, or discord within the group will instantly destroy the power of the alliance, turning an asset into a liability and dissipating the collective energy. You must bring a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect to the table and immediately eliminate any member who introduces discord, protecting the integrity of the collective mind. Use the group to acquire specialized knowledge. The group's primary function is to fill the gaps in your own knowledge, allowing you to move forward with a plan that is complete and sound, minimizing expensive errors and unnecessary delay. This is how you organize power, borrowing the experience and wisdom of others to speed up your timeline and overcome your personal limitations, providing answers you could not generate alone. Recognize the power of organization. Understand that the person who can organize and direct a mastermind group is just as much a person of education and genius as any man in the group who possesses specialized technical knowledge. Your talent is the ability to command and direct, and this is a specialized form of knowledge in itself, perhaps the most valuable of all, as it multiplies the power of every other talent by bringing them to bear on a single purpose under your direction. Induce others to serve you. You induce others to serve you, not by demanding it, but because of your willingness to serve others. The law of reciprocity is spiritual. You get what you give. A true leader offers value, commitment, and a vision that others want to align with, making them willing partners in your success and creating a mutually beneficial exchange built on trust and shared purpose. Select an employer or alliance worth emulating. If you are still working for someone else, select an employer or a company that is an inspiration and worth emulating. The most valuable thing you gain from a job is not the paycheck. It is the experience, the knowledge, and the association with superior minds. Do not serve a man you cannot learn from, as that is the essence of servitude without benefit, locking you into the rerun cycle and wasting time you cannot afford to lose on low-level associations. The rerun of isolation ends the moment you align yourself with the organized power of the mastermind. You are no longer alone. You are an organizing force, a commander of talent and knowledge, and the master of your own destiny, capable of achieving any aim you set by leveraging the power of collective intelligence. I have spoken plainly to you, using the laws of achievement that have created every great American fortune. I want to know who you are and what you will do now. In the comments below, tell me your current age, the definite chief aim you are fixing, and the one habit, the one chain you will break today to stop the rerun. Your declaration in the comments is the first act of decision that sets your new future in motion. Do not delay. You are not too late. You came to this message because you feel the pressure of lost time. You see the years passing, and the fear whispers that your 40s and 50s will only be a tired echo of your earlier life, a slow march toward an unfulfilling end. I tell you, with the force of absolute certainty, that this is a lie of the complacent mind. You are not too late, but you do not have time to waste. The most successful people often find their greatest purpose and achieve their greatest wealth after their initial periods of struggle and self-doubt, using their past as a foundation, not a tombstone. The man who did not achieve his aims in his 20s and 30s has a profound advantage over the man who succeeded too easily. You have been tested. You have struggled and experienced reversal, and these are, as I said, assets of incomparable value, providing you with wisdom and resilience that cannot be taught in any school. You now know what does not work. You have learned the hidden truth that the man who never struggled ignores. Persistence is the only thing that matters, and fear is the only thing that is truly real and capable of stopping you, for all other obstacles are merely temporary and subject to adjustment. The time you wasted was merely the tuition you paid to learn these immutable laws. Now, you must act on the education you received, turning that costly experience into rapid future success by avoiding the mistakes that caused a setback before. Refuse the rerun of indifference by commanding a definite chief aim. Break the pattern of worry by using autosuggestion to control your mind. End the cycle of stagnation by mastering decision and immediate action. Guarantee your future success with unyielding persistence and the right specialized knowledge. Stop the isolation by building the mastermind power that organizes success. Your life is not measured in linear years, but in the intensity of your purpose and the definiteness of your action. You can compress the achievement of a decade into a single year when you align your mind with these laws. The moment you make your decision, the universe begins to rearrange itself to make room for your success, because you have finally issued a clear command to the forces of the universe, and the cosmos obeys the commanding mind. The philosophy contained here is the only reliable blueprint for personal liberation. Study it, apply it, and never surrender. For your freedom depends upon your choice today, and the choice is yours alone. If this message has awakened your hope and demanded your action, share it immediately with one person you know who feels stuck behind or believes it is too late for them. Give them the truth and the action steps that can change their life. You might save their next decade. You are not too late. Start now. This channel walks with you on the shortest, dependable road to individual achievement. Your great beginning is today. Go and command it.